Well, here we are, Saturday, East Coast Scale Challenge. Of course, we got the GCM Florida crew, Rob here with Amanda, and we got a pretty special vehicle that I'm sure you've seen before, but we have the opportunity to have a sort of sit-down rig review with one of Rob's probably favorite Broncos. How many do you have? How many tiny truck Broncos do you have in the?
A lot more than anybody I know.
So this one in particular is quite special simply because Blake from MetalMashers gave this to Rob. It's one of his newest Bronco editions, and it's quite nice. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this and what makes it unique and special?
So this project started maybe 2.5 years ago. I got a hold of MetalMasher on RCC and said, hey, I really have to have, not want, but have to have a metal body. And he was super tied up busy and kind of fell short there, and maybe 3 or 4 months later, he sent me a PM and I bought a metal body. I still have that metal body. It's sitting in a box. It looks very nice. So I got into some scale chassis building, and that, you know, the next step is to get a metal body. So I procured MetalMasher's phone number, and over the course of a couple of years of phone calls and how-tos, he basically held my hand and showed me how to pour the molds, how to pop the molds, how to trim the molds, how to work the tooling foil to get you know, all the contours and fender flares. And
so what you're telling me is you made the molds?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I made the molds, and I actually made 2 of these bodies.
Okay.
For myself. But some of these fenders here, where they're really tight pinches, and the back corners here are individual pieces.
Wow.
And I didn't have the skill set to get the metal to fold on those areas. So I said, Blake, if I send you these, will you make me a good body that I can beat up? And he said, absolutely. So this is all MetalMasher here, and like I said, I have 2 of my own at the house that are nowhere near this nice.
So what you've comped this now how many times?
Twice.
Twice. So it actually has realistic dents and scratches and so on,
Yeah.
which really makes them unique and realistic. And when we would talk about scale, I mean, here's kick-ass scale right here.
Yeah. So it's almost maxed out point-wise. It's at 59 points.
Okay. Running class 2?
This is class 1
okay.
truck, so the tires are like 4.19. They're right there at the max height. It's leaf-sprung rear end, coils in the front, limit straps all 4 corners. The front end, I've got inner fenders, which are also made out of the tooling foil. You can see there. Of course, I've got the straight 6 in there.
So tell us a little bit more about that. That's an awesome sort of setup you got going. I mean, the detail on this is impeccable. It's amazing. You've done a really good job.
Well,
I think we're going to take the lid off this and have a close look at some of the amazing things that you've actually done, including the chassis and so on and so forth.
So this is about half the weight of a Lexan body. Weighs about half.
Jeez, look at
It
that.
doesn't weigh anything.
Look at that, guys. Unbelievable. All metal. Realistic dents. That's pretty special.
That's after I kind of massaged it and got rid of some of the dents earlier.
So what's going on here? Tell me a little bit more about what you've done here, because there's some really trick stuff going on.
So I made a special request for a 6-cylinder because everybody wants a high horsepower V8, and
right.
I just want a scale trail truck that runs well. So a little birdie shipped me a package with this super awesome scale straight 6, kind of detailed out, painted everything up. It sits with a Holmes Hobby 13-turn, what is it, a Trailmaster, or I think that's right, 13-turn Trailmaster motor, which is super slow speed control, really scalable motor. And of course it's backed up to an RC 4-wheel drive R4 transmission with the Scale LR T-case.
So that's one of the original. Oh no, that's not the original, is it?
No,
that's on the other one,
yeah,
right?
I have numero uno case. I'll never get rid of that one. So yeah, that's my Scale motor, transmission, transfer case setup, just like a real Ford pickup truck. I've got Terramod axles, just like a Ford should have. Driver side offset front pumpkin, you know, track bar mount.
How do you like the Terramods?
Well, I'm pretty much in love with them. I think they're you know, it's an axial axle that looks real. You know, it's not a bunch of bulky square centered stuff. They look the part. They look amazing. And then you know, the exterior frame wise, I took the metal body, and since I had the original Lexan, I built all of the metal work around the Lexan body.
Oh,
so
interesting.
when this
So
was done, it drops right in.
isn't that amazing?
And you know, you have some tabs like in the hood here. You can see across the front end these 3 holes. That's just screws. The front end actually gets screwed together, kind of like a real truck to some extent. And then I just have tabs that are welded on here, and you actually screw it to the frame. The body's attached to the frame.
Tell me about the frame and the chassis that you've built. That's pretty special in itself, is it not?
Yeah, to some extent. The extent is that you can't buy it in the store. It's not overly scale, but it fits the truck. In essence, I have a 1/10 scale Bronco chassis, an outline of actually 1/10 scale, and I took some leeway with this truck with regards to I don't know if you can see that really high angle frame rail around that axle.
Okay.
So that axle will really bump in there a lot.
But you made that chassis.
Yeah, the chassis
That's hand fabbed by you.
Yeah, it's all scratch built.
Amazing.
Sure. It's
Amazing.
a 1/2-inch square stock, heat it up with a torch, put the right bend in it, take it off, set it on the plans, and back and forth, back and forth. So.
And then you got a hammered finish on the bumpers and the chassis, so you sprayed them down?
No, I actually had it powder coated.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The whole thing was clean and spotless. Of course, it's filthy now. I took it to a powder coater, and the guy was like, "That's amazing." And he goes, "How's $50 sound?" He says, "Sounds like I'll never hurt this finish, you know, here." So that's that. You know, it's really a Class 1 comp truck, so my interior is extremely basic. I have a seat, a driver, a steering wheel, and that's about it. You know, I do have a wire mesh floor pan here that my bedroll sits on, and a little piece of firewood, but it's really simple. And
so Class 1 was yesterday, and how did you compete?
Horrible.
Oh.
Not based on the truck. My driving style doesn't include, or I don't have experience with wet, slick rock. Okay. So that was a big learning curve. These tires are new to me too. I thought the tires did great. That was total driver error. The truck ran great, ran awesome. I'm not used to driving in these conditions, so that's okay for the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And 155 slots, right?
Yep, these are 1.5 slots, and this is the 1.7 IROC.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I really love the 6-cylinder. That is just inline 6, beautiful. It's so well done. What a jewel of a truck. Pretty special.
It's fun. I love this truck. I drive it with a stick radio, 7-channel aircraft radio. Everybody thinks I'm nuts, but that's what I'm comfortable with, and I can drive it slow and scale and take this truck a lot of places.
How long did it take you to build it?
Oh, that's the question you shouldn't ask.
How many times did you redo it?
So the frame went through 3 renditions.
Really?
Just the main chassis went through 3 renditions.
Why would you do that?
OCD.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the bottom
So you
line.
sort of fabbed it up and thought, oh, I need to tweak it some other way, take it all apart, put it back together.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
People ask me, how do you do that? And I'm like, oh, it's easy. You put it together and then take it apart. Put it together and take it apart. Put it together and take it apart. Put it together and take it apart. You know, and just keep doing that. And then eventually you get it to where you're somewhat satisfied with it. So.
Well, it's a pretty special truck. I wish all of you could see this in person and meet Rob. Excellent guy, great guy from Florida, really special truck. It's incredible, and I'm so glad I could see it in person.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.